What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, and today we're back with GrimDark Battles. Now, if you guys don't know what GrimDark Battles is, it is a who would win battle between two characters from the Warhammer 40K universe and sometimes Warhammer 30K. So, in the previous GrimDark Battles, we've chosen the winners due to the polls we have on YouTube and on Facebook. However, that was pretty much a unanimous victory for whoever was on the Imperium side. And pretty much it was all about popularity. It was essentially a popularity contest. So, the last one we did was based on the lore. However, that one was Khaine against Drago. And Drago has been written in the lore to be as overpowered as you can get. I mean, this man has taken down demon Primarchs by himself. He's taken down everything that has come at him within the warp, and he's come out on top, pretty much unscathed. So, he's a Mary Sue among Mary Sues. So with that being said, this will be technically the first Grimdark battle that actually pits lore versus lore. So the winner of this guy will be decided based on the lore that we talk about when we're describing the two combatants. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to talk about the history behind the character, their feats, their strengths, their weaknesses, and their war gear. And then we're going to talk about the other character, same thing. And then we're going to pit them into a Colosseum-like battle. So the terrain will be the same for everybody. Think of like the Romans and the Greeks and all that. I believe it was the Romans. But yeah, so it's that kind of battle, just in case you're not aware as to how we do these things. So, with that being said, this one pits demonic against divine. So we are talking about Saint Celestine going up against the avatar of Kane. Now the avatar of Kane is essentially the war god of the Eldar pantheon, who has given power to a kind of like a, how do I put it, like a statue, so to speak. I'll get into it once we talk about him, but it's a very interesting battle because we have a divine, righteous woman going up against essentially the god of war incarnate. So without further ado, guys, let's dive into this grim dark battle. And of course, it's ladies first, so let's talk about Saint Celestine. So Saint Celestine is the living saint, the angel of righteousness, and every man's waifu. So Saint Celestine is a symbol of the Emperor's power and purity. She is amazingly inspirational, very charismatic, but before she was a saint, she was a sister of battle of the Order of Our Martyred Lady. She did fall in battle, however her wounds were miraculously healed, praise the Emperor. She eventually acquired her flaming sword and holy armor, and she was officially declared a living saint. She's known for kicking Chaos's ass all across the Imperium. She is literally so powerful that she has killed multiple demon princes, and during Abaddon's 13th Black Crusade, she even fought against him. Now, due to the pylons on Cadia, her psychic powers were a little weakened, but she still held her own against the Chaos War Master. This is a huge factor when we're going to be talking about her against the Avatar of Kane. However, she does have other abilities, and this one is very, very amazing. She has the ability to resurrect her allies and even herself. So we've got another Mary Sue on us. However, she did lose in battle against Khaine the Betrayer. Khaine butchered her bodyguards, and apparently Saint Celestine was beheaded by Khaine. But again, she's all about resurrecting. She has complete belief in the Emperor, and because of this, her skull was not claimed for the Skull Throne. She revived herself, so it was no big deal. But again, guys, this is some really interesting lore to look back on, because even though Saint Celestine doesn't seem to be a heavy hitter, she can definitely take on the best of them. When it comes to her weapons and war gear, she's pretty much has the same stuff as all the rest of the Imperium. She's got frag and crack grenades, but let's move on to the good stuff. Her wings of faith. So Saint Celestine has so much faith in the God Emperor that he has blessed her with psychic angel wings, which are just as agile and fast as an Astarte jump pack. She also dons the armor of Saint Catherine. So this was the armor of the martyred Saint Catherine of the Sisters of Battle. It has now been blessed, and it can even withstand much more punishment than the armor could back in the day. And also, she has the Burning Blade, the Ardent Blade. So it's essentially a mini version of the Emperor's Blade. It's covered in holy fire, and Saint Celestine can shoot out flames from the sword as well. So, really awesome there too. So now that we know a little bit more about Saint Celestine, let's talk about her opponent, the Avatar of Kane. The Avatar of Kane holds only but a small fragment of Kane's true power. There are two ways to summon forth the Avatar. The first involves the sacrifice of an Exarch, and this only usually lasts for a limited amount of time. However, the second version, it's much more rare, but way more powerful. It requires that 6 Phoenix Lords sacrifice their weapons to the Avatar, and the psychic energy stored inside these weapons will then fuel the Avatar and awakens hidden strength inside of him as well. Now these avatars of Kane should be unstoppable killing machines. However, throughout the many years of the Eldar lore, they've pretty much have gotten the short end of the stick. They've gotten their butts whooped time and time again. They've lost to marines such as Marneus Calgar. They've got wrecked by the stampede of Tyranid Carnifexes. Hell, even a weakened Lorgar beat one of these guys. And he's even been mind controlled by a Keeper of Secrets. Now, this is a bunch of L's that the Avatar has taken, but there are some pretty strong W's. So let's talk about the one time where an Avatar of Kane took on Skarbrand, the once favored bloodthirster of Khorne. So it was a battle worthy of gods, but at the end of it, they took each other out. So it was a tie, so to speak. Now, Skarbrand, like I said before, he was at one time Khorne's favorite bloodthirster. He was really powerful, however, he got tricked into striking Khorne, and Khorne literally smacked him across the chaotic realms for like a week. Like, he literally flew across the realm of chaos for a week straight until he landed, and his wings got so beat up, that's why they look like they do on the model, all tattered and bruised. But that being said, the Avatar was able to match him blow for blow, and it was a tie. So, I mean, take from that what you will. I mean, he's gotten some wins under his belt, some losses under his belt too, but at the end of the day, this guy is still pretty formidable. So now let's go on to his weaponry. The Avatar of Kane's best defense is his molten body. So avatars of Kane have such a durable body that plasma weapons, melta weapons, and any type of flame weapon will literally have no effect against him. Most projectiles will burn up before they can reach the molten core, and if the Avatar ever falls in battle, it will resurrect within the craft world that summoned him in their center chamber, ready to lead the Eldar to war once again. So similar to that of Saint Celestine, they will resurrect, but this takes out a lot of stamina from them, so most likely they won't be resurrecting over and over again, but it all depends on what type of Avatar was summoned. If it was the stronger one, obviously it can go on a little bit longer, but again, it's all kind of iffy. But this magma body isn't the only weapon it has. He also wields the destructive weapon known as the Wailing Doom. So this weapon can either come in the form of a burning blade, a molten spear, or even an iron axe. So depending on what type of enemy, the Avatar will probably come with the most useful weapon. However, the Wailing Doom can also fire off a bit of psychic energy at the enemy, burning its foe to mere cinders. So essentially it's the same type of weapon as that of the Ardent Blade for Saint Celestine. They're both flame weapons, and they both can fire off bursts of, flame. So, it's time to jump into this epic GrimDark battle. So this is a little disclaimer, guys. To make things way more interesting, we are using the strongest variant of the Avatar of Kane. And to make this battle not go on forever, both of these warriors only have one resurrect. to use. So now that that's out of the way, let's jump into this epic battle. Out of the flames of the burning weapons of the Phoenix Lords, a massive avatar of war is summoned to the battlefield. However, on the other side, golden light radiates from the heavens as Saint Celestine gracefully descends to the Colosseum. They stare off at one another, and finally, they charge. Burning blade meets burning blade, but the Avatar overpowers her. She staggers back as the Avatar unleashes a psychic plume of flame. Celestine is engulfed, but her faith is strong, and she presses on. But another stream of fire scorches her, and yet another, and another, and another. Celestine's flesh is burned off, and she dies in a heap of burning bones and armor. But heroes never die, and by the grace of the God Emperor, Saint Celestine rises from her ashes. It's time to fight fire with fire, and she unleashes her own blast of psychic flame at the Avatar of Kane. She takes to the skies and continues her assault of holy fire. She whispers a prayer to the Emperor, and she dives down, hoping to land the killing blow. But the Avatar catches her mid-flight and slams her down to the ground. The Avatar follows through with a mighty stab, but so does Saint Celestine. The ardent blade has pierced the heart of the Avatar. She smiles. Victory is surely hers. However, Kane's mighty Avatar impales the saint to the ground with his blade. With a barrage of flaming fists, the Avatar of Kane wins this grim, dark battle. So now that we know that the Avatar came out on top, let's see how you guys voted. So, no surprise here, Saint Celestine got 62% of the vote, while the Avatar got 38%. So, here's my reasoning behind why the Avatar won. So, first and foremost, I gotta give it to Saint Celestine. She definitely has the battle experience to take on whatever comes her way. However, she's known more to fight against chaos. Now, the Avatar of Kane is an Eldar warrior. However, he does fight somewhat similar to like corn demons and whatnot, since the Avatar of Kane is all about war, bloodshed, that kind of thing. So she kind of knew what was coming at her. However, her only attacks that would be able to damage him couldn't do anything because her burning blade was just that, a weapon made of fire. And as we all know, the Avatar's molten body diminishes any flame type weapon, so she couldn't really do any real damage to the Avatar. However, she did have speed on her side. But again, I felt like there was too much against her, and that's why the Avatar came out on top. Yeah, she could resurrect, but coming back couldn't really help her when her main weapon couldn't really do much damage. So that's my reasoning behind this, guys. If you guys think Saint Celestine should have won, let me know how this battle should have gone in the comments below. And also sit tight because we have more epic GrimDark battles coming your way. If you haven't already, be sure to go to our Facebook page and the community section of our YouTube page, because that's where we have all our polls. Go vote, because the next battle will be the mighty Swarm Lord taking on Herald Deathwolf of the Space Wolves. And after that, we've got the Battle of the Fractured Gods. The Catan Shard of the Nightbringer will be taking on the newly awakened god of the Eldar, the Incarn. So cast your votes, guys, and be ready for another epic GrimDark battle. As always, this is the Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, and I will see you guys tomorrow.